Well, unless anybody else needs use of the frequency, the 2 a.m. net will begin in approximately 2 minutes. KC9UDX net control here. Good evening. This is KC9UDX. My name is Matt, and I welcome you to the 2 a.m. net. The purpose of this net is to promote the use of amplitude modulation and also to establish this part of this band as a place for AM activity in this area. Everyone is invited to listen. Licensed amateurs who can do so legally are encouraged to check in. We listen in the AM mode and transmit in the AM mode where possible. If you cannot transmit in AM, we encourage you to listen in AM and to transmit in FM. If you are transmitting in FM, please adjust your transmit frequency a couple kCs above or below from our receive frequency. This facilitates the use of slope detection, that is, demodulating your FM signal with our AM receivers. When checking in, please announce your call sign in standard phonetics. Again, this is Kilo Charlie Niner Uniform Delta X-Ray. My name is Matt, and I will now begin accepting check-ins. Any stations wishing to check in, please come now.
KC9UDX, N9CXK. Everything's arranged and plugged back in here.
Whiskey Bravo 9, Bravo Whiskey Papa.
All right, got two so far. Recognizing and welcoming N9CXK Carol and WB9BWP Dave. Do we have anybody else? Come now, please. All right, hearing none. Well, we missed last month, I think. Well, there weren't storms. Nobody showed up. I was kind of surprised. And we missed the month before that due to storms. I think we've missed a lot this year. But here we are. And I missed field day. Haven't been to any swap fests, unfortunately. And not too much I can report. Working and working. I was awake at 3:30, got home at 6. Here I am, and I have to be awake at 3:30 a.m. again tomorrow. So, about a half hour ago, my internet connection went away. I had two things happen here at the same time. I got a different internet service provider, which is much faster, and I upgraded my home-built router to NetBSD 11.0, whereas before it was 11.0 release candidate 1, which was quite a ways behind. And I regret doing that, because now my router is flaky and I'm not sure what caused it. I may just have hardware failing and I don't even know. And I have, well, that's a Rock Pro 64. I have bought a Star 64 that I meant to build as a backup and also to kind of play with it, because that's a very new thing. That's RISC-V, which is completely open source processor. Nobody owns the rights to it. Has a Star 5 RISC-V processor in it. But it arrived on Monday, yesterday, and I have had no time to do anything with it. But it may become urgent here, because about every 2 days now my router crashes, and it did so about a half hour ago. I guess it takes about 10 minutes to get back online when that happens, the way my network is configured. But this Windows computer that I never use for anything but streaming the net here, that completely locked up when the network went down. I don't exactly know why. I would have thought Windows would have been the least susceptible to such a problem, but it did. And that took the most time. So this seems to happen quite a bit. I was scrambling within minutes of starting the net to get the YouTube connection back on again. I did get it about 15 minutes ahead of time, so that's good. But it was a pretty good scramble. I had to completely reboot that Windows PC, which is not a fun thing to do. It has a backup battery problem, It has a brand new backup battery in it, but it always complains that the backup battery is no good on boot. So you have to press a key to bypass the battery message, and I don't know what the key is. And I don't have a monitor connected, nor could I easily connect one to that computer. So I can only guess by pressing keys, and hopefully I don't get it stuck in the setup menu. But I did get it booted. It took a while, and everything's back online, so hopefully it stays online. But here we are. We're on the radio with or without internet, and my trusty VIC-20 here will not succumb to any networking problems. We'll go to the top of the list. Carol, it's your turn from KC9UDX.
KC9UDX and the 2-meter AM net N9CXK. Well, that's a pretty tough act to follow. I can't get through half of that, I don't think. But when you reboot the computer and it has a problem, F1 is to just continue. F2 is usually to update the time and something. I don't know what it is to bypass the bad memory battery. I think F1, F2, F3 would be about your best choices. I don't think any of that will cause you a problem. So good. Well, I'm sorry that you have to work so much. That makes me feel bad. But obviously you're being compensated handsomely for that. But I don't know. Comes a point when you gotta push back a little bit. Maybe I don't know. I can't talk smart about that. That's your life. So I got everything back together here. I took the whole right-hand side of my bench apart, and I added some shelves to a little table on the side here. I added some shelves. I now have my linear amplifier on the bottom, and my 440 base station below that, and then the 35 amp power supply on top of that. So that is all working well. And I had to dig around and try to get all the cables connected correctly again, but I did. I was here last month. There were storms, but I think they were over with by the net time. I don't know, but I got on. I had this radio. I had it on frequency. I was a little bit late because of the storms, but then I never heard anything. I called a few times. I never heard anything at all, so I didn't know. And then I heard people talking about being on the 2-meter AM net, so I thought I must have just missed it somehow. But maybe I didn't. Maybe there wasn't anything there when I was listening. So I'm here now, and even though I'm retired, I am very busy all the time. I finished a whole patio behind the garage, between the garage and the lake, of pavers. I had hundreds of red brick pavers left from, we pulled those up and put down new sidewalks, so I had hundreds of those pavers, so I used, probably used 100 and a half anyways doing the patio back here. I have some old Cream City brick below the potting bench, and then the rest of the patio, about 20 feet over, is the red brick. Came out very nice. I got it all squared up. I had enough bricks of each kind to fill it in, and it undulates a little bit, but I didn't plan on it being a perfect patio. It was supposed to be like a garden patio, something that you put together yourself. So that's nice. Then I buried a second electric line from the garage down to the lake. That's about 50, 60 feet. And I bought a new trenching shovel, which worked like a dream. Hang on. And that enabled me to dig a beautiful trench right down to the lake for my Romex. And I cut up a little 4x4 post, got that in the ground, put an electrical box on it with some outlets in it, and that is all done too. And plants are happy. I haven't had to water. We haven't had to water for several days now because of the rain. And that's been fantastic. Otherwise, every day we're out for a couple hours watering everything. We have many, many plants and pots. Things that I've put in this year, hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of plants. So, yeah, it's good. And we have a brand new asphalt driveway here. Asphalt road and driveway on a hill here. So I watched all the water rush down and into my neighbor's yard. But, it settles out before it really causes them any trouble either. So it's all gravel here, so it soaks in pretty fast. But the asphalt driveway is very, very, very nice. Nice and smooth and easy to blow off now with the blower. Yeah. So a lot of things going on. We went to the Special Olympics in Lake Geneva on Saturday, the bocce ball tournament, and my daughter did very well as usual. They had a great time. It was just a wonderful day. And then Sunday was the huge antique flea market in Elkhorn at the fairgrounds. We planned on the day. We got there at 7 in the morning and hit the road, and we got almost the entire flea market done. And then the lightning and thunder came to the north, and we finished up a couple things and beat it to the car and got in the car before it started raining. So we were so happy with ourselves, right? I hope some more people will be checking in soon here. KC9UDX and 9CXK.
All right, thank you, Carol. And yeah, we could get some more check-ins, but if not, I think the three of us can handle it. And yeah, we missed the flea market. My wife did want to go to that, but we missed it. We had family day at my work, and my kids wanted to go to that, so we did that. And then we got home, and my wife said, "Oh, we missed the flea market," and by then it was too late anyway. With that computer, I believe to get into setup, it's either F2, F10, or delete. And normally when it boots blind and it stops, I press anything from F1 through F8 in random order. And eventually either it will boot or it will lock up. And I'm assuming the locking up is when it goes into the menu. So one of those keys, I think, takes it into the menu. But I never really took the time to figure out which one, or to try to isolate which key it is that actually gets it to work. The problem is it's a couple minutes after you press the key before you know, so it's not really worth the time to figure it out. Very good on the shelves in the shack there. I'm sure you've seen the pictures of my shelves here. They're kind of old now. They're well over 10 years old. But they're still here and they still work. I sure would like to put in a proper desk here, though. Get rid of this picnic bench. That's on the list of things to do for someday. I've got a really nice desk upstairs that is exactly the right size. But I would not prefer to use that one, so I'm hoping to find a similar looking one, similar sized one or something. And last month, if you were here, you must have been here after 8:10, because it was at 8:10 that I stopped calling. I decided I would call for 10 minutes, and I did, and I heard nobody, and then I turned everything off and went upstairs. So if there were you and other people here, it had to be after 8:10, I'm pretty sure. Unless I was not hearing you, and I don't know why that would be. Every time that happens, I always wonder if my radio is working or not. but I'm pretty sure it was working. Nothing has changed, and it is working tonight. Sometimes I wonder why it still works, but it does. And very nice on the patio and the new driveway. I think my driveway here is long overdue for that. But that's not going to happen anytime soon. That's one of those things I think about every year. That's something that should get done, but it's just not going to happen. And with that, we'll go to Dave, WB9BWP. It's your turn from KC9UDX.
Well, good evening, guys. Last month, I wasn't here even. My wife and I were out of town, and so I was wondering if I missed the next, and guess I didn't. I'm trying to think. We were up in the Dells area. I don't think we had any storms up there, but it was incredibly hot, hotter than we've had it down here. And then the smoke really came in, the Canadian smoke. So we actually didn't do much other than we were in the hotel with I'm trying to think of which tribe it is, with the casino. We really didn't venture out because it was like, it's too hot. So anyhow, now we're here and it's hot. But I'm still out doing my daily walk and sweat. But I don't have to go outside to sweat, so it doesn't matter. And the someday project pile, mine would fill the entire house. It almost does. But I just kind of keep moving that stuff around, and some of it ends up going to Amfest, some of it ends up going into trash. Some of it's like, I'm still going to get work on that. And, yeah. Anyway. We had the picnic this past Saturday. Mars and MRAC picnic. Over at Greenfield Park. All the usual stuff. I'm not sure. I think we might have had about 50 people total. Something like that. A couple of radios were set up. Did a fox hunt with a couple of hidden transmitters. And, of course, the world-famous HT talk. And, in fact, just because we get goofy ideas, actually, other Dave Shank, he has created a website for the International Federation of Handy Talkie Talking. There's not much up there right now. He's got rules and stuff. He's got only one picture. I have to get him from somebody past winners. Jim, K9ZYW, won once again this year. He won a couple years ago. Stand by. Moment. My timer was running out, so I could go in and turn it off in the radio, but I haven't. Anyway, Jim won the HT toss by the final playoff round between him and William, WM9H. The final playoff round, Jim sank all three HTs into the bucket. So nobody can ever remember anyone doing that. Anyway, so that was a recent activity here. And I did just at the beginning of the net, I was able to work W18W Portable 7 in Idaho on 20 meters. I don't have all the ones that have, well, they're actually on the second try now, second half of the year. So I'd have to count up how many I have. I know I don't have all of them. Anyhow, I'm just looking at my list here, and I guess that's more than enough babbling for this round. Oh, and talking about working too much, well, I'm not anymore, but I had some years where it was vast amounts of time, and I was salaried, so I still kept track of it because of a couple of engineers over the years that there was problems with working with them. So I always kept a fairly detailed log of everything, and so then I could have graphs and things and just make people go, what is he doing? Anyway, that's more than enough for now. So I'll send it back to our small but quality net. This is WB9BWP.
All right, thank you, Dave. Fine business. I assume you were at the Ho-Chunk place. My daughter's been spending a lot of time in the Dells with her boyfriend, but I have not. We did manage to go to the Dells in March, I think, for a week, and that's better than nothing. That's my vacation. Well, I shouldn't say that. We did go camping for a week too. And that was probably even better. And speaking of which, I'm still amazed that state parks in Iowa do not have any kind of entrance fee. There's no guard shack or whatever at the entrance, nothing of the sort, no way to collect money, no fees. Still amazed by that. I don't think our fees for Wisconsin state parks are terrible, but I'm guessing that if the DNR was cut down to what was actually needed, we probably could do what Iowa does. I don't know. And I'm assuming that you work W1AW/7 as part of the year-long contest, which I have not so much as even tuned into. I was looking forward to that. I did participate all year during the ARRL 100th when they did the same thing. I did not work all of the W1AW stations for that. I did work all states, and I did work most of the W1AWs, I think. I'd have to look. I have a very large stack of QSL cards from that event, which they're normally right here in front of me, and that kind of bothers me. I wonder where they went. It would be nice if I could build a new antenna. I'd like to put up something exactly like I had before. I'd actually like to put up two of them at 90 degrees. But I don't know when I'll be able to do that. If I do, it'll be too late probably. We are at the bottom of the list. Are there any more check-ins for the 2 a.m. net? Come now, please.
This is November 9, Foxtrot, Sierra, Echo.
Got one more. Recognizing and welcoming N9FSE Steve. Do we have anybody else? Come now, please. All right, hearing none, we'll go straight to you, Steve, N9FSE from KC9UDX.
half, maybe more than half of Carroll nice. So we were tardy, but not horribly tardy. And go over some of the comments from earlier I didn't make last month either. The weather scared me off. And could have swore I missed 2 months, but I do have a June 19th log sheet in my kit here, so at least I only missed just 1 month, so that's pretty neat. July, so that's alright. Took in some of the good stuff of the season here. The July South Milwaukee Ham Fest. Enjoyed that. So lots of people here. Didn't buy too much. Just a couple of things I can use at the ski hill, so that's cool. Did not make it to the Lakeshore Radio Association's event. Had all kinds of intentions of last week doing that, and just was still on the recovering from a busy week at work and whatnot, so did not make it there. And saw several people, like Dave mentioned about the MREC Mars picnic. The good all the characters there, and it was a good time had by all, I believe. So that's pretty neat. And I saw Dave there from the net, and I saw Dale. So I did make sure I mentioned it to Dale, but hopefully he can join us yet. We'll see how that works out. And well, hopefully you can get that new antenna system running over there, Matt, and other notes that I got here. Good on Carol for getting your shells going, and the update on not hearing anything last month. I didn't help make things happen last month by not showing up here, but I guess it was pretty well hiding from weather and not doing well, so I just went home and had him out enough of all that. And good on this taking in the Special Olympic events. That sounds like a good time, and all the stuff around Lake Geneva and the Antique event. That sounds like a pretty neat one. I can't say I attended that one, but occasionally I get to a Maxwell Street Days or a St. Martin's Fair or something, which sometimes has some neat stuff on occasion. Let's see here. At home, and I'm being surrounded by all kinds of hams that are vibe coding apps for their phones, and including my brother and good friend Mike K9TGN. They're both doing Morse code readers. My brother's was even working on having it help him with sending and sending some decent stuff. It's kind of neat to see all that coming about with all the AI agents in use for that stuff. And my brother's pushing me. He says, my mom who passed away, he's like, get Mom's old iPad going. We'll clean that up, and I'm sure he wants me to throw some cool apps on there. But I'm sort of an Android person. We'll see how that works out, if I can manage that. And speaking of AI adjacent, there's a neat package out for the Flex radio called Ether, AETHER, and that's just spectacular. It's like getting every time they come out with a new version for that and Smart SDR, both of them, it's like coming up with a new radio. It seems like with all the features that get added, and you can also click through Ether and run your Flex, but you can also have it talk to a Kiwi too. So I'm like, well, that's pretty novel as well by selecting a different antenna setup and all that. And some of their ideas to be a front end for different SDRs, and then I saw what was it for? Oh, Ether, not Ether. The Kiwis have some other group working on a different fork too, their probably own vibe coded thing, and forget the name of that. Well, one of them is Zeus, and that might be the one, but even there, those guys are working on using the different front end of that for different SDRs. So I don't know, SDR STR is a great way to listen to anything AM if you ask me. So, but I haven't yet to listen to this net on that. So I think this net's well appraised of things, but we're also sticking with the old tried and true mode out here and enjoying that. So maybe I'll get a lot of comments on that. Maybe not much. And so yeah, that's most of my wrap up, I guess, at this time, and I'll probably come up with half a dozen other things when I unkey and say, oh, I should have brought this, that, and the other up, but that's probably pretty good for now. I'm trying to think of good AM events coming up, but just a couple more AmFests sprinkled through. Let's see, which the next one's probably going to be like Ozaki Radio Club and the other one down in Chillicothe, Illinois, or something there. Peoria? I don't know. So, lots of stuff coming up as usual. So I'll send it back to the net while I see what everybody else has, see what else I can collect on thoughts. So, Matt, back to you. KC9UDX. S signals like I usually copy down. I got you at +20. I got Carol at +10, which is higher than I got from June. And David, the usual +20 over S9. Back to net. Over. N9FSE.
All right, thank you, Steve. Before I reply to you, I believe we had somebody else trying to check in. If there's somebody else, please come now. Was there somebody else trying to check into the 2 a.m. nets? If so, please call KC9UDX. All right, maybe I was hearing things. Well, I apologize. I'm not going to give any signal reports tonight. I just don't have it in me to try to get the meter to work. I've got it stuck on transmit, and that's where it's staying. It would be really nice to have one more contact, or a set of contacts, I should say, on that TR relay to automatically switch that meter, but I guess in my situation that would be a bad thing, because then the needle would just be stuck all the time. Very good on the vibe coding. That's something I doubt I would ever do, but I guess I can appreciate it. And if it's getting people writing software, I guess that's a good thing. There's all kinds of software out there to be written. You know, software developers can't think of everything. That's why I've always liked writing all my own software, doing as much as I can, because I never appreciated software other people write. Not usually. Some of it's really good, but a lot of it's not. And I guess if you can write an app that goes onto an iPhone, I'd be kind of surprised. I don't know much about iPhones. I have one. I don't like it. I like Android, but I especially like Graphene OS. And I have customized my Android phones to no end. Things you absolutely cannot do with an iPhone. But I thought you could not load your own apps on an iPhone. I thought you had to. I thought you were stuck with the official. I forget what they call their store. And it used to be iTunes or something. I don't remember, but maybe that's something new. Maybe you can put your own app on there. That would be, like I say, that would be a surprise. We're at the bottom of the list, and I don't mean to say I'm pushing everybody out of here, but I will. We'll start the 7-3 round. I know we've only gone around once, but I would like to get to bed on time tonight. I've got a whole week of 12-hour days here. And there's, like I always say, there's just no restriction. Talk as long as you like, and maybe we'll end up where we always do anyway. So, first on the 7-3 round is Carol N9CXK from KC9UDX.
KC9UDX N9CXK. All right. Very good, Matt. Well, I don't blame you for wanting to get out of here. Well, it feels like a good night for sleeping. I hope you can just go to bed and not have to plan things all night long or something. But, let's see, Steve, your signal's not as strong as it usually is, I don't think. You're a little under S9 here. Usually you're a little more better than that. So, it could be just where the radio is set. I don't know. But boy, good on all that stuff. All that. I don't know SDRs from anything. I mean, I know what they are and how they work, I guess, but I never had one. But maybe someday. I'm just really happy with all the stuff I have here now. I don't have a place for anything else. Matt, I'd sure like to pick up a Clegg or a Godsend or something. Actually, the other day I saw a TR-106, Allied or Night radio, TR-106, which is the 6-meter AM radio. Boy, I had a 2-meter one, and I probably never should have got rid of it, except it was a great big thing. It wasn't heavy. It was just a big thing. I had a TR-108, which was the 2-meter one. Boy, I sure could have used it on this net now. That was about an 8-watt radio or something. But that was long gone, too. I used to listen to all the repeaters with the AM receiver, you know, how you tune that in. Used to have it on all the time. Yeah. So, I did not get to the Free Fest, which isn't free anymore, I guess, down in Racine County there. I was told yesterday by a friend of mine, he said he thinks there were about 15 vendors, and, not that many people. So, I guess we didn't miss too much. I just had no way to get there this time. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the summer here. We're going to Mackinac Island, to the Grand Hotel next month. And then our train trip out to the Canadian Rockies is in October. So should be a lot of fun. We're going to Madison on Saturday. We're going to see my niece and her new husband in Madison. So that'll be a fun day. Just go out there and sit and talk and have lunch, and I guess that'll be about it. Nothing too exciting, but people we haven't seen for a while. So yes, I don't have a lot else to talk about. I kind of said everything that needed to be said before. So I'm very, very happy to make the net. And Matt, yeah, I tried checking into the net last month, probably at 8:15 or 8:20, something like that, because I didn't want to go up and connect anything right away while it was still kind of storming, but when I got on, I assumed that either nobody showed up or it was just too dangerous for most people. So that was okay. I had to figure, because I had the radio on. I didn't hear anything, but I dialed over and I could hear people on the 145 megahertz 2-meter repeaters over there. They were coming in full blast, so I knew the radio was working okay. I assumed that everybody was just gone. So the other thing I'm not using is my 220 radio. I have it. It works good. The antenna works pretty good, but I just don't hear enough to worry about there. I haven't listened to the Midnight Nightcrawler net out of Chicago for a while. They're oftentimes they come in just great here. It's a repeater that's about 70 miles north of Chicago or something, but way east, and kind of out of range, but in the evenings with a little bit of ground wave enhancement, it works pretty good. So when I get the 220 radio playing again, I guess I'll listen there. Yeah, I think that's about it. summertime stuff outside most of the time. We've been on the boat several times, but other than that, yeah, not a lot of radio stuff going on around here. Keep the coax is disconnected and grounded most of the time. N9CXK. I'm going to say 7.3. I know you want to get going, and I'm at that point too. N9CXK 7.3, everybody, and I'll be listening to all of it.
All right, thank you, Carol. I will say 7.3 to you. And yeah, if you were here quarter after, 20 after, that certainly explains it. I was totally done at 10 after. I called and gave up. I did my due diligence. I am very sorry to hear that Free Fest is no longer free. That's a huge shame. But what are you going to do? That's the way things are these days. I guess at the rate of inflation that our government is imposing on us, then free has to be inflated to some real number, doesn't it? Well, next we'll go to Dave. It's your turn on the 7.3 round, WB9 BWP from KC9UDX.
Okay. Well, and yeah, talking about free, I mean, hey, look, you remember penny candy, what does that cost today? So, I guess free won't be free. That's why I've always thought that, or, you know, they throw out inflation numbers and everything, you know, well, compared to last year, well, compared to 20 years ago. Anyway, enough of that stuff. The W1AW things, well, ARL is calling this year the year of the club just because they needed to do something. And that, along with the 250th birthday of the country. So they have a special works all state for this year, you know, for contacts you make only this year, and they decided to do the W1AW portable stuff again. You know, I think I'm going to say I think it's the activating stations, you know, the states themselves. I think they're having a hard time getting volunteers to do it because they're not really on that much. They may be making a lot of contacts, but it's like you don't find them, say, every day or something like that. And in fact, a couple of weeks ago, I don't remember which one it was, I worked on FT8, and I never did hear them anywhere on voice. Because I think this is like the third time in about, when was that? 2014, I think was when they did it the first time. So this is the third time in 12 years that they're doing this W1AW portable thing. And, you know, maybe people just aren't excited about it anymore. Stand by just a moment. And, I'll throw this one out there too, talking about ARL stuff. A question arose early this year because of this year of the club thing. They published, or in EQST in January, it said that Dallas was the oldest affiliated club. We have, because we have a whole bunch of archives, we have a letter from ARL back in 1970 where they said MRAC was the only club out of the first 10 that they could make contact with. And so we've been saying we are the longest affiliated, continuously active affiliated club. Not necessarily the oldest, because there are older clubs, and yes, Dallas is an older club. So I wrote to our new director, and I said, I spelled out my whole thing, and I said, I'd like to know exactly what's what. Was that letter wrong? If it was wrong, I'd like a new letter saying, sorry, we screwed up. Or if that letter is not wrong, I would like some sort of public recognition. And he said, sure, I know some people that I'll ask. And a few weeks went by. I asked him, so, hey, have you heard anything about that? He goes, nobody answered me. But I'll be out there next week. This was like a month or so ago. And I'll talk to them in person. And he got back and he sent me their official response, which sounds like it was written by the government. It was one sentence, not answering the question, and just kind of, yes, you're a valuable resource, and we value your participation. Thanks. And so I warned the director. I said, okay, I'll be sending some email, just so that you know, I'll be sending some email to some people and try to get an answer to this. Well, anyway, that's one way to chew up a lot of time here on the net. So, I don't really have anything else. So, I'll say 73 to those of us that are here or anyone else listening. This is WB9BWT.
All right, thank you, Dave. Well, I gotta tell you, I think I speak for everyone. If you spent an hour every month talking about club history, I don't think anybody would complain. And that's a pretty good story. And I was going to comment specifically on something you said, and I don't recall what it is. But I did discover, because I have a fancy plaque from working in all states during the centennial, that I did work W1AW portable in all 50 states. I did not realize that. I guess that's what it was, though. So there's that. And Steve, you could say I'm talking on a software-defined radio, the software being those clouds of electrons that cannot be described as physical things inside those glass and metal envelopes. It is your turn on the 7.3 round, N9 FSE from KC9UDX.
All right, thanks for that. That's all as usual, wonderful insight. And happy to have just go through some of the list here. I got my 220 stuff running home. I keep thinking maybe I got to relocate the antenna outside or up in the attic right now. It's in the master control shack room, and I should get that somewhere better. And good stuff on the AWRL. I'm sure they'll probably not be rushing to help clarify our stuff, probably with the current regime, but there's always hope in the future, and who knows, maybe there'll be something else that turns up in the internet, the ham radio internet archive business there that may shed the digital light sooner or later. I'm going to need some more notes because I've been scratching through the phone a wee bit, and there was a weather event today, and luckily avoided most of Wisconsin, although it was stuff to have a watch for earlier, and so we were keeping an eye on things on our informal bet on 38, and as usual, if things start affecting Washington County, I'd help out those guys up there, which I am assigned to from SOCOM, so that's pretty neat. But nice that we didn't have to start anything in motion there, and we had something about a week ago, too. didn't have to have any reports on that one also. So they've been lucky in Washington County, but hopefully they don't run out of luck. So that wouldn't be good. And I made a note because down in Indiana, from Illinois to Indiana, it was a ripper, and they call it the derecho event, and 99-mile-an-hour wind gusts in the Gary area, and a few spin-up tornadoes along with all that. So it's quite the ordeal for some folks south of Chicago. And hopefully they can get through that stuff too. And then, of course, get to some local, I don't have much on the solar weather, but there's an eclipse tomorrow at noon to 1. We have a partial solar eclipse. And I guess later in the month there's a lunar eclipse, August 27th, to see, and that should be a full lunar total eclipse from about 9:30 to midnight. So always look forward to a good lunar eclipse. I've been known to leave the area even and trying to find a good solar eclipse, but I've yet to be wowed by any of that. So those are all my updates at this point. I look forward to tuning in more of the Pirates. I tune in on HF and AM nets as possible, and hopefully recharge my stuff. Saw a few polka events for those polka people out here, and got up to Pulaski. That was a treat, and I've got to see the Concertina Congress get together for the big jam, and that was it was kind of super neat on many levels, but it wasn't the not to be missed thing. But it was a treat to see many all these different people in the concertinas out cranking it out. I think that was Saturday up there. I was up there 3 days, so that was good fun. Something went beep around here, so we'll turn it back to net, and I guess maybe I'll see if I got anything else to throw in the afternet or something. Good to hear everybody, and hopefully maybe somebody else can check in yet as well. So with that, back to net. No, let's see if we get this right this time. November 9, Foxtrot Sierra Echo. Over.
All right, thank you, Steve. I do believe I forgot to say 7-3 to Dave, so I'll say 7-3 to Dave, and 7-3 also to you, Steve. And I wish we could go longer here, but I really should get going. I will say, this concludes the 2 a.m. net. Feel free to rag chew on this frequency after my transmission. Heck, if you guys want to keep the net going, that's fine by me too. We will meet again on the 8th of September. Until then, this is KC9UDX 73, and good night.
I'll take this brief opportunity too. Is there anybody else looking to check into the monthly 2 a.m. net here on 145.700 megacycles? This is N9FSE. And no reply at all. Standing by for a few minutes before we dial a band, and probably should wrap things up here myself. N9FSE.
I didn't hear anything either. And everybody have a good night. I will be listening for a while also. N9CXK.
Thanks once again to Matt if you're still listening. Thanks for that, Carol, and thank you for being out here again tonight, dear Dave. So the lights are kept on nice. So thanks a lot for being there, everyone. Also, N9FSE.